while new tariffs imposed by Trump administration on timber and furniture imports to the United States will officially take effect. Softwood lumber will now face duties of 10%, while some upholstered furniture and kitchen cabinets will see tariffs as high as 25%. Starting from January 1st, those rates will rise even further to 30% on furniture and 50% on kitchen cabinets. The White House argues that the tariffs are necessary to protect U.S. industries and national security. However, experts warn these duties could significantly increase construction costs, adding to the financial strain already felt by home buyers in the U.S. Canada, the largest supplier of softwood lumber to the U.S., faces a substantial blow with an effective tariffs of 45%. Other major exporters, including Vietnam, Mexico and China, will also be impacted, especially in the furniture sector. The Trump administration is imposing tariffs to tackle what it sees as unfair trade practices by foreign countries. With us on the broadcast is Mr. Peter Cardillo, Chief Market Economist, joining us live from New York. Thank you for your time speaking to us on NewsX World. I'd like to understand from you, with these new tariffs now coming into place as far as furniture, as far as timber is concerned, how big of an impact can it potentially have?
Well, obviously, we're seeing the trade war between China and the United States heat up again. The rhetoric keeps going back and forth. Last week, we saw President Trump respond to China when China had put some restrictions on, on rare materials. He said that he was going to slap 100% tariffs, and that happened last Friday. Over the weekend, then we saw both China and the United States try to diffuse the rhetoric, and this morning we saw China put some restrictions on shipping. So it's a war of words right now, and of course 100% tariffs are likely to go in effect November the 1st, but my guess is that before that there'll be some reconciliation, and they're not going to be that high. I've said this in the past, I'm going to say it again. The trade war, in a trade war, no one wins. The United States doesn't win. Our trading partners don't win. Everyone is basically a loser somewhere along the line. And so it's a war of words. And of course, it can be worrisome for the markets. Right. And we saw that last Friday, right? Then on Monday, we saw the market react to the fact that tensions were trying to be eased. And now today, we see a market that's, again, under pressure due to the latest movement by China. But at the end, I think there will be an agreement. Could there be, discussions going on towards the end of the year? Very possible. But again, no one wants economic disaster on their hands. And I think that President Trump was quite clear about this. He said it over the weekend, that he was not willing to risk a depression, and nor is China, and no one for that matter of fact.
Right.
So I think it's just a question of time before they do come to some mutual agreement.
Right, absolutely. Mr. Peter Cardillo, we appreciate your time on NewsX World, sharing your inputs and insights with us. On that note, we leave it there and shift our focus to some other major news.